Hi, this is Ashley again. Welcome back to Struggles of Mom Life. This week we're going to be exploring what was my favorite thing, and that is introducing solids to your baby for the first time. This was so much fun. It was so exciting when he finally started showing the signs that he was ready to start eating solids. It's probably going to be the messiest thing you've ever done, so I definitely advise if you have carpet in your kitchen for whatever reason, remove it. Either that or they make these nifty little disposable, I guess giant oversized placemats really, that you can put underneath your baby's high chair that'll guard from all the splatter. But then again, if your baby's like mine, he's got a he's got a pretty good distance on his throw. So the mat that I laid down might not make any difference because he threw it halfway across the room. So just be aware that it is going to be messy, but it's totally going to be worth it. So we're just going to dive right in. Foods. There, there are many signs. They don't recommend starting solids for babies less than 6 months. The pediatrician did recommend when Ben was at 3 months or 4 months to go ahead and start introducing solids because he was exhibiting all of the signs. So age is a big factor. The next factor is has your baby doubled his or her birth weight? Now for mine, he is breastfed. He feeds quite often. He's still breastfed at almost a year and a half. So his weight quickly came up. I know a lot of moms panic when they leave the hospital because they've seen this sudden weight drop, but that's completely normal. I know my little one lost 6 ounces from the time he was born to the time we left the hospital, and we were only there for 2 days. Well, no, not even 2 days, because I had him at 2 o'clock in the morning. So the next day we were out, and he had lost the weight. But they schedule a well baby check pretty much immediately after you give birth. So you take your little one in, and then they check the weight and height and everything like that to make sure everything's on par with where it needs to be. So that's a big factor. Has your baby doubled in birth weight? Another huge milestone, and this one is crucial, can he or she hold head steady while upright? If your child cannot hold their head steady while sitting upright in a chair, like a high chair or something like that, then they are definitely not ready for solid foods. Because if your little one cannot hold their head up, they're going to have trouble swallowing. It's just dangerous. So if they're not holding their head up, they're not ready yet. Another sign is your baby eyeing or reaching for your food? Now, I know mine did this quite a bit. Like, he would eyeball my food. I actually have pictures where he was sitting on my lap and I was eating a slice of pizza, and someone else had snapped the picture and he was staring directly at that slice of pizza. Like, he really wanted that pizza. So, if they're eyeing or reaching for your food, that might be another sign that they're ready. Does your baby open their mouth wide at the sight of a spoon coming toward his or her mouth? I know we started kind of introducing silverware, well, baby silverware early, just so he kind of knew what they would do. Forks came much, much later, but we did start giving him spoons, the plastic padded spoons and stuff like that, and he enjoyed playing with them and chewing on them and putting them in his mouth as we were eating our food. So babies definitely imitate. So watch what they do with a spoon. That might be another sign that they're ready for solid foods. And another one, this sounds crazy, but it's very crucial, is your baby healthy? If your baby has a stuffy or runny nose, or congestion, or running a fever, or diarrhea, it's definitely not time to start using solids. You need to wait until your baby is healthy before you start introducing solids. Excuse me. Feed my baby first. There are lots of different options. You could do ground cooked single grain cereal or infant cereal with breast milk or formula. Now, because my little one is breastfed, I did mix his cereal with the breast milk, and that seemed to help get him a little bit more used to it because it still tasted like the breast milk, but it didn't feel like the breast milk. So getting them used to those new textures is the hardest thing. You're going to find your baby likes to eat most foods, but it might be a texture thing. Like even now, in a squeeze pouch, my little one loves anything with banana in it, but if you hand him an actual banana, he will not touch it. It is a texture thing, not a flavor thing. He certainly enjoys the flavor, but it's a texture thing. He just will not touch it. So you can do mashed banana, avocado, or cooked beans. These are all things that are going to need to be mashed. Cook them until they're nice and soft and then mash them. You don't have to exclusively buy baby food. You can make your own baby food. I know a lot of times he would eat what we ate as he started getting a little bit older. We would just mash it or ground it or puree it so that it would be easier for him to eat. You can also cook and puree carrots, peas, or sweet potatoes. For Ben, his favorite thing in the world were sweet peas, and even now he loves sweet peas, but he will not eat a spoonful. He has to eat them individually, a single pea at a time. So anytime peas are on the menu for supper, it's going to be a long night because he's going to eat each one by itself. You can also cook and puree meat or poultry. Stick to softer meats like chicken, turkey. These are the easiest for them to go down. It's the easiest to puree. I would avoid like pork chops, obviously steak, stuff like that. They just don't need that yet. Starting solids. Now, there's a little bit of disagreement as far as when to start foods that they might potentially be allergic to, such as eggs or peanut butter. Some say start it early, some say wait. Now, we did wait until he was about 6 months old to start introducing anything that had peanut butter in it, but so far, knock on wood, there haven't been any allergies. So, start with one new food a week to rule out any potential allergies. And this can be tough because some of the baby foods are like a mix. So either go with a single food or make your own. Just for the first few months, just to make sure you're not having any allergies pop up. Give very small bites and wait until they fully gum them before offering another. Babies tend to like to put more in their mouth than they can chew. So, well, gum. So give them plenty of time to get all that food down. And definitely offer water in between. You can do juice if you choose. We do water down our juice. So he gets probably about an ounce of juice to 4 ounces of water. So we definitely water that down because I just don't think he needs all that sugar. But that's a personal choice. Definitely doesn't have to be your choice. Sit down together as a family and eat. No screens. Baby learns from you. So if you guys eat at a certain time every night, or try to be flexible, eat with your baby. Add variety and spice now, not later. Give baby plenty of different foods. Spices are okay. And if they don't like the food, try again later. It's been said that a baby could try up to 10 or 12 times before they finally decide that they like a food. So just because they don't like it the first couple of times, don't give up. They might change their mind. Don't start solids too early. This can't be expressed enough. If your baby is not ready to start solids, do not force them to start solids because it could end up harming your baby. Look beyond the rice cereal. Your baby's first food doesn't have to be that rice or oatmeal cereal. it can be pureed peaches or it can be pureed sweet peas. As long as the consistency is thin enough, and you can always mix a little breast milk or formula in there to thin it out a little bit. Don't eat in front of the TV. It just enforces bad habits from the start. Sit down as a family at a table if you can and enjoy your meal. Oops, skipped one. Don't force it. If they won't eat the food, try it again later. As I said, you can try foods many times before they finally decide that they might like it. No nuts, grapes, hot dogs, or popcorn for a while. I think a couple of years, I think maybe 2 years is when you can start introducing those types of things. But right now, especially with first foods, just avoid these foods altogether. And here's another big one. Get the animals out of the room, whether it be a dog or a cat or a pig or whatever animal you have. Get them out of the room when your baby's eating. Because I guarantee you, once that child discovers they can throw food on the floor and that animal will come and eat it, it becomes a game. So don't even give them the rules so you don't have to play that game. Remember, it's going to get messy. As you can see, that middle one there, that's my Ben on his first birthday. We had him stripped down to a diaper so he could eat his birthday cake, and honestly, he was stained blue for a few days. So watch out your icing choices on those birthday parties. It was a mom life. I'll see you next week.